Everybody's got a price for the $1 Million Man.
Who's that kid? Nick. He looks like Beaker from Muppets.
The one on FS1, Nick Wright.
Yep. Yeah. I got something.
That's amazing. I did not even. I love that.
If I get 5 women and they're all in the same room with me, we're going at it at 110%.
Welcome in, everybody. Back-to-back days, another edition of the Lazy Booking Podcast live here on A2D Radio. I am your co-host, Chrome, joined by my buddy over here, as always, Mr. Eric Archer. What's up, buddy?
What's happening? We got nothing to talk about today, folks. So this is going to be a great show. I'm excited. I'm pumped.
Not a single thing to talk about because nothing has happened in wrestling this week.
Liars!
Oh, here we go.
It's terrible. There's nothing going on. Nothing.
First of all, let's do what we do. Let's bury Andy and put him in the bottom here. There we go. All right. First and foremost,
you're just jealous that I'm better than you, and you know it.
Yeah. Okay. Well, as you can see, we're joined once again by special guest Andy Ritter. Ritz from in this very ring.
What is going on, everybody?
A2D legend. Happy to have you on, buddy, for a wild weekend of pro wrestling. And first and foremost, show a little love to our sponsor, Dr. Paul Vidal at Specialized Physical Therapy. You can find him in Burlington and Cherry Hill, New Jersey at their physical location. You can find him at that site there, specializedphysicaltherapy.com. Any aches, pains, long-lasting or brand new physical ailments that have come up, contact his award-winning team, and they will set you on track to be in your best peak shape that you could be in. Guys, what a weekend. And honestly, I think we thought coming into this that we were going to open this thing with the absolute classic that was John Cena versus AJ Styles, a crown jewel. And wow, did that change course from yesterday morning?
Good God.
Yeah, I mean, if anybody it was an unexpected thing.
Like I very adamantly was just going to text you today, like Saturday after the John Cena AJ Styles thing. I was like, all right, if my day goes pretty well, I'm gonna see if Chrome's doing a show Tuesday. I'm gonna see if I can hop on because it was a fantastic match. It hit you in all the feels, and we'll get into that. And then yesterday happens, and like I wake up, I start watching it, but I gotta go to work, so I go to work, right? And I forget about it because I wasn't super impressed with the show. I'm like, I got things to do today. Let me just do this. And then it happened. And I got the text from a buddy of mine, Silent Hill, and it was off to the races. And I knew the whole world just changed.
Well, it was spoiled for me.
Yeah. So we were getting ready to do the Eagles podcast with Blue Meanie.
Which, by the way, if you haven't seen it, go back in our archives.
Show. Yeah, it was
either on the Lazy Booking YouTube page or on the A2D Radio YouTube page. Go back and check that show out from yesterday, especially if you're an Eagles fan. Really smart football guy. Okay, please continue, sir.
Definitely some intelligent fellas on that show. But going back, so Meanie was running a few minutes late, and I went downstairs because I still had Raw on, and I saw kind of part of the end, but not the full that part. But the only reason I went back downstairs is because we went to go get a drink real quick. I go get coffee, and there it is. And I'm like, holy shit, what happened? And I'm telling my wife, you won't believe what just happened. We might have to do an emergency pod, and I spoiled the whole thing for Chrome and Meanie. So
yeah. Oh, so it wasn't my fault. Yeah.
No, the thing is, Eric's new to the game. Arch is new to the game.
I gotta hit that mute button, man.
So we got to teach him how to use the mute.
And not even that. You just got to understand. In his entire life, I think Chrome has maybe watched.
I don't watch 40%.
40% of Monday Night Raw live.
Yeah, I never watch Raw or I never watch any of it live. The only thing I watch live is the PLEs, and half the time then I'm starting at 40 minutes late.
We have a separate chat because of Chrome.
Correct, because I would tell them. They'd say, "Are you watching live?" And I'd say no, and they had to go to the other chat. But
yeah, I felt really bad.
It's fine.
Especially, I was like, sorry.
no, it's all good. Listen, the impact of it was still tremendous. But let's obviously we're skirting around it here. Our opening topic of conversation is WWE turned the vision against Seth Rollins too soon. Agree or disagree? So if you're on Facebook, you're on YouTube, you're on X, Twitter, wherever you're at, please give us a share, give us a like, give us a follow. And by the way, comment in. We want to hear what you guys thought about what happened yesterday morning, 8 a.m. Well, I guess it was 10 a.m. when it happened. Or what was it, 10:40-ish, whatever. We started at 10:30, right? Or 10:35.
Yeah, it was about.
He was on right at 10:30, and
yeah,
we could have started. I was like, you know what, give us a couple of minutes. We'll just take a 5-minute spot start. We'll fill our waters, and then, of course, we hear Eric in the background talking to his lovely
hey
wife.
babe,
Hey babe, Seth just turned. They just turned on Seth, babe. What? Yeah, the Vision. They just turned on Seth. They just and me and Meanie are
like she cares anyway.
I know,
like she cares.
And me and Meanie are like,
that's like her talking Sex in the City with me. Like I could care. Like come on, like man.
And he comes back, right? He sits down and he's like, dude, wait till you watch the end of Raw, man. Something really big happened. I was like, yeah, they turned on Seth. Huh? He's like, how'd you know? I'm like, because I heard you tell your wife.
And I'm sitting here feeling like, because I texted in the group chat, like, oh my God, did everybody see it? Because I totally, like, I saw your message, Chrome, about the show. It never once registered that was going on in the morning. So I thought you were sitting watching Raw like the rest of us schmucks were. And then when you're like, no, we're doing a show with Meanie, I went, oh my God, please tell me I didn't just spoil this for him. Glad to know it wasn't my fault.
Nope, I already know.
It kind of reminded me of when Punk came back. I thought the show was over. I go walk the dogs.
It off?
No. So I let the dogs outside. I come back in, and there he is. I'm like, what the hell? Like what in the world? Like,
oh, we did a reaction.
Because the credits went, and I'm like, all right, all good.
And NXT Toronto, when Ciampa turned on Gargano, will forever make me never trust a lower third graphic from WWE ever.
No, you can't.
And it's like the after credit scene on a Marvel movie now. Now, like, I literally wait till the screen goes black for me to think, like, okay, this is over.
Yeah, no, you can't. And the Punk one, Andy and In This Very Ring did a live reaction show to that show. We were on.
We blew out the sound.
That is I believe, my most viewed on TikTok.
Ah, cool.
I clipped the live reaction together with, and I synced it up to when Punk came out.
Yeah.
So if you go to my TikTok at Heel Chrome, we have a live reaction video that's on. We went nuts for that.
That's awesome. I was like,
but we were all kind of shocked because, like, I'm just like sitting there, my head down, I didn't even know what I was doing.
Well,
and then the music hit, and we all just see us all go.
Well, so you had sound. You were muted because you turned sound on, if I remember correctly. We didn't have sound. We muted our sound on the TV.
Oh,
so
right.
Yeah, we had the table back here. Butters and I were sitting there, and we're getting ready to break down the show. I think I got on Twitter to look at any reactions as Butters was saying something. And out of the corner of my eye, I just see lights flashing. And I look up, and I go bananas. And because it's Punk music.
Yeah. Yeah, it was crazy. It was
pretty
crazy.
awesome.
Already having comments in here. We're going to jump into the poll one time. Donovan already commenting in. Love that, Donovan. Answering
What's up, Donovan?
I would say it's too soon to have them turn against, but say this. Isn't another Seth idea to lower all our guards, like how we thought he was going to be injured, or he was injured? That is great. That's a great point storyline-wise, because it does play into how Seth even got to the title. And there are a couple of possibilities, Donovan and everybody out there, of why this happened. So let's talk about it. So let's get back into our poll. We're going to go around the room, start with Eric. We'll work our way around again. WWE turned the vision against Seth Rollins too soon. Do you agree or disagree?
I think I agree every week. but not this week. I disagree. Whether it's injury or not, and you know what? It may be because of injury, and it may not be because of injury. And maybe the Vision had their best stuff that they've had over the last week or two. But I think it's time to get these young guys pushed into this world title picture. These guys are showing that they can be without him and be able to thrive. I think, especially at Crown Jewel, seeing what happened there with Bronson, putting him over Roman. I mean, that's a stamp of approval if I've ever seen one. I mean, I think of course you got Bron Breakker, but Bronson Reed is the one that we talked about last week, where like, he just seems to have it. He just has that look. He has he talks really well, and he's really good in the ring. And he's unlike anybody else that they have. So I'm all for this, whether it was for injury or not. Of course, you don't want to see, if the injury is true, you don't want to see anybody get hurt. But I think this may be a benefit if they do it correctly, where they push these guys straight to a world title. And if Seth is not going to be able to compete, you got a world heavyweight champion to crown. So I mean, it kind of makes it look even more clear that, with one of these two guys could be right there being the next world heavyweight champion.
There you go, Andy.
So, one, I disagree, and I think there's a voice in my head that says last week on this very program, we talked about the Vision breaking up, and would there be a turn of Braun? And I also kind of want to say that I don't think I said it, but I know we said it on this program last week. I may be wrong. I may have said it. I don't remember. Either way, I wasn't going to take the credit for that. But we talked about it, and I know damn well I said that this Vision storyline, it just isn't doing it for me. It's not going anywhere. It feels very stale. A lot of Raw, when they're concerned, has been copy and paste week to week to week, even so much as how they go about the beatdowns. And then you watch the promo Monday. Well, actually, no. Yeah, you watch the promo Monday. That opening promo, and Seth says how he didn't need anybody. He doesn't need anybody. This, that, and the other thing. One, watch Bron Breakker through that. And watch how he kind of gives him this side-eye look of like, wait, really? And then it made me think back to the weekend. All right, Bron Breakker wasn't in a match on Crown Jewel. Actually, when was the last time Breakker had a match? What's Breakker been doing other than just supporting Bronson Reed, who's been in this feud with Roman that nobody expected to take off?
Well, they had a match at WrestlePalooza, right?
Yeah. But I'm just saying, right? Like, if you look at the week-to-week stuff, he's been a secondary character. And the big question that I had when I saw that moment on Monday was, why are we playing him up as a secondary character when he was the first one put into the Vision? Seth brought him on first. And then have him to spear Seth, which, by the way, WWE did a great job shooting it, number one, because you really couldn't see Bron Breakker. I'm going to screw this up a lot. You couldn't really see Breakker getting ready to take the spear. You just saw him kind of looking out like he'd been doing. He'd been doing it weeks and weeks and weeks. When Seth is pandering, he's looking out to the crowd. So you really thought nothing of it. And then the turn and the spear. And to look at Bronson Reed and go, you're either with me or you're against me. And then to almost say verbatim the same thing to Paul Heyman, it's a callback to Friday night when they were saying, hey, if he doesn't win, right, we know what to do. Yeah, he still won, but one, he didn't win clean, which he's a heel, okay. But two, to come out and say, I didn't need any of you guys, I don't need any of you guys, that right there put you in the next chapter. So all this really slow copy paste cookie cutter stuff you've been doing with them and the Usos, them and Roman over the last few weeks has led up to this moment. Whether Seth's injured or not, right? Rotator cuff or not, it's a work or not. I don't care. This was the right time to do it because now you go to Saturday night's main event in 2 weeks' time in Utah. You can have Punk beat Seth. Now you can do Punk versus Breakker. Seth goes away. Whether, again, like I said, if he's injured, that sucks, right? Go get yourself fixed, come back, be healthy, all the fun stuff. But now the waters are muddy when it comes to the main event picture because you still also have LA Knight and Jimmy Uso who could still make a claim even though Punk won the triple threat match. Now you've got Bron Breakker having an issue with Seth and Bronson Reed also having an issue with Seth. The bigger question for me coming out of Monday morning, so weird to say, what the hell just happened to Survivor Series? Right? What is it? The Judgment Day versus Cena's Avengers? Right? That's no fun. It could be. But I think this was a perfect time to do it because it was stale. When you look further out, if I look big picture, maybe not. But in the moment, week to week, episodically, amazing time to do it. Plus, you also had nothing end Crown Jewel with a big shock moment or anything. I think, honestly, I'll die on this hill. Cena style should have been the main event. So you needed something to send the Australia crowd going, wow, what a weekend.
Yeah, I mean, we'll get into grades for Crown Jewel. I have no issue with where Cena Styles was on the card. I had no issue with how the card was structured in general.
Right,
I thought this was a big moment for Seth. And now seeing what spun off of it is the reason why they gave Seth that high moment at the end of that, only to pull the rug out from under him the next night, right? Comment section's flying, by the way. Appreciate you guys. We're going to pop some of them up in a few minutes. Got Dynasty John in there, Castigliano, John Malmus, Safa, all kinds of people in there. Love it. Keep it coming.
Thanks, guys.
Donovan's in there still. So it's interesting because we just had this conversation last week, right? You were not a fan of this vision thing. You think it was working, blah, blah, blah. I think we kind of all got what we wanted out of this. Because I know for Andy, wasn't working for you. You were ready for this to be over.
Mm-hmm.
For me, I think it's a huge success. And maybe this wasn't the plan. This is where the injury comes into play, or maybe it doesn't. That could this have been a pivot? Sure. But the thing is, you got someone who was released less than 18 months ago. Or I guess it was over 18 months ago, but was brought back a little over 12 months ago in Bronson Reed, who had previously been released and then came back. And he was pegged as this beast. And he was going up against giants such as Braun Strowman and Jacob Fatu and anybody that was a big, massive human being they were putting up against. But it was still kind of middle of the pack. And then he gets this opportunity against Roman. And I'm talking, he just took the ball and he ran with it. And I don't think anybody expected that his rocket would get shot up so quickly. Coming off of the Roman, which, by the way, shows the star power of Roman Reigns and what it can do for you in a feud with Roman, whether you win or lose. So I don't think – I get what you're saying with Bronson, that he kind of became a little bit of a background player. I think that's more of a short-term view of what he's been, or maybe over the last 3 weeks or so. But overall, I don't think he's been, because he's been the guy that Seth's been talking about for 4 months, saying, you're the next in line. You're the next. He said it from the moment this group got together. You're the next in line. And you go back and you harp on that. And the fact that for 3 weeks, Seth's been talking about how he's done everything himself. And I do wonder, and this is where I'm mad at you, Eric, watching it back and knowing it was coming, I think it was so telegraphed. But if I didn't know that it was coming, I don't know that I would have seen how telegraphed the end of the night was coming from all the different the opening segment to the backstage conversations. And I'm curious if I would have picked up that something as big is getting ready to happen here. But that being said, I thought it was beautifully done, because what it did allow me to do is see the trinkets and the breadcrumbs they were lying down leading up to this. And then it makes you think back, if I went back, how many other breadcrumbs would I pick up in leading to this?
And that's, you know, and that's one of the best things about sometimes some of the best wrestling storylines is they do leave those little breadcrumbs, and it makes me want to go back and look at more so the promos, not necessarily the matches or the stuff that they do individually with the Usos, the promos as a group, and the stuff that Seth has been saying prior to the last couple weeks, and was it there or not?
Can we talk about not necessarily with the group?
We're going to get
Seth
real quick. We're going to get to the comments in a section. The opening segment, generally, we pop them up and we talk. We give our openings of the topic. Just we got some new viewers, so they're curious what the format is.
Now we'll definitely
we will start to go in. We will start to hit the comments shortly.
Yeah, I just wanted to hit on one thing. Go back to the promo with Cody and Seth, where he's questioning who's making the decisions within the group, and he talks about, did you authorize Brock Lesnar to come back? Did you authorize Bron and Bronson to be there? Like, it kind of started seeping doubt in who's making the decisions in the group. So that is one breadcrumb I would say is probably not being looked at enough. But if you go back, you can see look on Seth's face. He's like, "Oh, this guy's right." Like and then he plays it off like it's he's making the decisions and stuff. So just something to pick up on as far as breadcrumbs are concerned. And going to Bronson Reed and why Bron hasn't really been featured. I think they know that what they have in Bron already, that he's already penciled in as the next few years, and they've been saying it, but they wanted to get Bronson more featured so that he's getting the rub just like Bron is.
Yeah. No, and the other thing too, the before I jump on the comments here, the one question that has not been answered, Paul has aligned himself with them, but was this premeditated or not? Because it was presented as if he was kind of put in a make your decision now, and that's it. But was it premeditated? That's the breadcrumbs you're talking about, Eric. Were these decisions all along to get us to this moment? Or is maybe Paul Heyman indirectly the reason that this happened, because of his decisions undermining Seth, made the rest of everybody else look at Seth as less of the leading figure? And then that is what cast the doubt. And I want to get into the comments. So go ahead after this.
I said it last week, Seth not listening to Paul, going back and he ate a crossroads for his trouble, right? He's been the only one not listening to Paul Heyman. So if it turned around, hey, this was something we discussed, we didn't plan to do it now, but he kind of pushed us there kind of bit, I'm okay with that. To say from the beginning, I think would be a very big stretch. But I could say, hey, this is something that we've discussed ever since, 2 weeks ago when Seth got laid out by Cody after not listening to me. And then you call back to the promo on SmackDown, backstage with Bron, Bronson, and Paul. What if he loses? Then you know what to do.
Mm-hmm. Safa, new name I've seen on here today, says, do you think CM Punk would be heel then create instead of Vision straight edge society? I don't like the idea.
I don't think you can go back to that, because one, it didn't work the first time. Two, CM Punk he's one of those stars that has transcended heel and face. People are going to cheer for him no matter what city he goes into. He can come out and tell them all that they're morons and they're stupid and that they're horrible people. They're still gonna cheer because they haven't seen CM Punk in so long.
I think the bigger question is, when Seth comes back, where's he fall into it? Where he's already alienated all the faces, and now the heels don't like him. So where does he fit in this picture?
Well, it's the irony, Eric.
Yeah.
It's the irony
absolutely.
of everything he said that CM Punk is exactly what he is.
It's the irony, Eric.
That was the most "you stupid bastard" moment ever. Well, but I think there's Eric's on to something a little bit there. Number one, let's not assume that Seth's going away for a while just yet, right? Until something official comes out, we could very well see Seth on Raw next Monday night in Sacramento. Two, I think there's a way to take this. He's Eric said it great. Alienated all the heels, alienated all the baby faces. He's on essentially a losing streak. He has no one around him. His wife's kind of the same way. She's kind of sucking right now, and even though they're both champion, I thought this after Selena Vegas, with Aleister Black and all that. What if we're gearing up again for a mixed match challenge of some sort? That's not just. Shut up! I loved it. That's not
It
an
was
after.
great for what it was. I don't need it again.
But do you see what I'm saying though? Like it's very odd that where I say odd. It's odd for WWE that we're really putting some focus on these married couples. It wouldn't be something that I could think would be out of the realm of possibility if you put Seth and Becky just together by themselves to kind of figure their lives out.
So Safa follows up. What I mean is Punk can be a heel soon. Is it possible to bring back Fireburns? So I'm going to jump in on this one.
Yeah.
I believe so. The point we're making is I don't look at CM Punk as a heel or a face at this point. He does things that are heelish. He does things that are face. He's an egotistical guy, both in real life and in character. So whether he's a heel or face, I don't think it necessarily makes a difference. He's going to get cheered by who loves him, and he's not going to be by the people that dislike him. So could it happen? It could happen. If you want to go by the technicality, I'm never going to say never. I don't think it needs to. I think the irony that we were talking about, right, of everything that Seth Rollins tried to claim that CM Punk is now will be ultimately his downfall. And it's the same thing when Jey Uso came back to Raw after leaving the bloodline and people were isolating him. You can placate kind of the same storyline. You don't need Punk necessarily to turn heel. And somebody else asked, just to follow up on that, as far as Fireburns, I don't think that's even going to be like they just played Cult of Personality the other night on Jimmy Kimmel Live. It's the anniversary of that song. They're not changing his song. But somebody did follow up on this. Asked, "Are you John Castigliano?" What's up, John?
Hey, John.
He says, "Are you in favor of adding new members to the Vision? If so, give me a couple names." I am not. You don't need it. The focus needs to be on these two gentlemen who both can speak. I think Bronson more than Bron. Bronson can speak with anybody, in my opinion.
Yeah.
But having Paul Heyman there, let this be the reason. Not, hey, we're jumping from here to go to Brock's leading it or CM Punk is leading it.
Because then it's Judgment Day all over again.
Well, there was no need to change what was going then. I think the purpose for them to step out is to be on their own, not to add new members. They're young, so they're not going to add another young guy. You know what I mean?
Pete and I were talking about this. He messaged me yesterday, and we went back and forth a little bit on it, and then we kept that going today. And he said Sami Zayn, and I don't agree with it, because what I think you're gonna do here with the smart thing to do with Braun and Bronson is something we don't ever see with duos. We normally see them go tag team titles, and that's it. I would love to see Bron Breakker go after the world title and Bronson Reed go after the Intercontinental title or the US title, whatever. By that point, whatever title's on whatever show, right? Whatever. But I would like to see that and then have these two just powerhouses roll through with individual titles because each one of their finishers complements the other, right? So if Bronson is trying to beat up on CM Punk to soften him up for Braun, right? A Tsunami, they're building this as a rib crusher. insert the spear. Same concept. Spear hurts no matter what. It's Bron Breakker, right? And now you add in the power of the tsunami behind it, right? They're gonna feed each other, but I think you do this individually, not as a true tag team.
Yeah, I was saying for weeks before this happened, I thought putting the tag titles on them would make sense, but I think now I'm in agreement. It's kind of like at this point, especially with singles wins, like, I mean, how much bigger can you get with Bronson beating Roman Reigns? I think that puts him right there in the world title picture. If that doesn't, nothing will. So I'd say it's time. I think these two have proven, and I think that's why they went ahead and pulled the trigger on this turn, because I think they see nothing but stardom from both of these guys, collectively and individually.
Yeah, no, I agree. Listen, I think at the end of the day, the purpose of this was for these two to step out into the forefront and let them be the focus. So adding, a more established star makes no sense. And adding a younger star makes no sense because they are young stars. It's them. They're trying to be the leader going forward. They're not in a position to mentor or protege anybody. So
Yeah,
the way this is intended for them to be on their own. And probably at some point, much like we saw with Randy Orton and Batista, they will probably meet down the road at some point.
Yeah.
I could see influence coming from Brock, maybe like in a promo. It's like I was talking to but like I don't think it's like something.
What the hell? Hold on, stop. No. What influence does Brock Lesnar bring to this?
Agreed.
With
I don't
Heyman.
Shut up. Why are you so big on Brock being a part of this?
See, I would keep Brock far away from this. I don't think
I'm not saying it's a necessity, but it makes sense. They're all with Heyman.
Well,
not that they're going to be.
So is Seth, and so is CM Punk, and so is Roman.
Did I say they're going to be a group together? No. Did I say it's possible they could be whispering in his ear, like, "Hey, do you really need this guy?"
Oh yeah, because Brock whispers.
That's funny. No, listen. Let me center this back.
Damn.
What a dick.
I think at the end of the day, the common denominator here is Paul Heyman, who, whether it's Brock, it's going to be a Paul Heyman influence going forward, right? He's supposed to be, I think, the guy who's going to help to steer them and navigate them now in this next phase where they're the guys, no longer the guys behind Seth waiting for their turn. So I don't know what happens with War Games. You kind of brought that up earlier, and I thought it was interesting. I was going to, hopefully somebody would bring it up or I would bring it up. And maybe that's a good thing because we thought it was so predictable. We thought maybe we're not getting the John Cena's all-star team. I feel like we probably are, but I don't know who they go against. I don't know how this works out, but I'm kind of excited for it. Could it be Brock? Could there be more involved? Who knows? John says on here, and just to respond to this, John Malmus, longtime A2D viewer, he so wishes that John Moxley's contract wasn't for another 2 years, and if he could come back with Triple H. So, I think Triple H would bring him back. I don't necessarily need to see him come back. Maybe at the very end, if there's like some kind of a Shield moment, but I'll say this. I know John Moxley in the past has said he has no desire to work for WWE before, but he has not made that statement since Triple H has been in charge. That was a statement made numerous times 2.5, 3 years ago. So I would be curious to see if John Moxley would come back to WWE.
I don't want to see him back.
Nope.
Yeah, I don't.
I'm good.
Either. I don't either. Let me see. Be paid by WWE, maybe.
Well, yeah, licensing. You have to, right? Royalties have to be paid.
Yep.
Yeah.
Didn't we hear fire burns during, was it WrestleMania? Yeah, WrestleMania.
Yeah, it was WrestleMania.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So I
And
think
I'm
that's
sure
all.
they had
That's all
to
you're
pay them
getting.
a pretty penny for that.
Yep. It's like Metallica
Safa
with
really
Sandman.
loves that song, man. Loves
Yeah,
that
I mean,
song. More power to you. I like Cult of Personality better, personally.
me too.
I like the song before it became his song, though. It's a classic. So I
I've
like
never
the
heard it
fact.
before.
Oh yeah, no, it's like an '80s classic. And like I said, they were celebrating it on Kimmel because it's the anniversary of the song. But yeah, anyway, really interested to see where this all goes. Let's jump into our next topic here. Obviously, hey, guys, I was so excited to get into this. So let's talk about this Crown Jewel in Perth. We get AJ Styles versus John Cena. Now we're going to before we get the opinions, and let's set the landscape of everything. Some people don't have ESPN, so maybe they didn't get to see the whole thing. I'm sure they've seen clips on the internet. AJ Styles comes out. He's wearing his gear, including no gloves, wrist tape, of how he used to dress 20 years ago in TNA. It's the exact gear, comes out.
It's the Asylum days.
The old Asylum days. He comes out, and then obviously we have the Cena entrance. He comes out. Massive pop. Crowd is singing to it for both of them. And John Cena gets his entrance. And then after that, he takes a piece of paper. And the entrance, by the way, what I'm referring to is, the Never Seen 17 come into Perth for one final time, or overseas one final time. His whole big read. And he hands the ring announcer a piece of paper. And this is not known by AJ Styles, folks. He had no idea this was going to happen. This was a John Cena spontaneous spur of the moment on the spot thing. And he writes up an entire write-up basically putting AJ over as the total nonstop action in TNA, the face that runs the place.
The ace and undisputed leader of the Bullet Club.
The Bullet Club he references, and then he says, come into Perth to try to beat up John Cena one last time. And I love when he's made the Bullet Club reference.
He's like,
and
oh,
AJ
shit.
goes, oh, shit.
Oh, shit. Yeah.
It was so good. Gets an unbelievable entrance announcement. And then so the match begins. Match starts off, and they're doing the jockeying and this and that. But then, man, this match takes a turn that nobody saw was going to take. It becomes what a lot of people have talked about as a love song to professional wrestling. AJ has said he is retiring after next year, which I don't know what that means in terms of a WWE contract, if he's going to finish there. He's always said he intended to finish there. So I don't know if that means he does a tour at WWE for a year similar to Cena and then he goes away, or maybe he goes to TNA for a year, or I'm sorry, AEW for a year. However, that probably explains why he got that moment at TNA too this year. They probably know this was coming.
Yeah.
And he got that return back at TNA. I think that was what? That wasn't Bound for Glory. That was
Slammiversary.
So it becomes this whole story where they are paying homage to the guys who got them to where they are. John Cena with WWE and AJ Styles with TNA. So just to throw out the list, so you see the various moves. AJ Styles paid tribute to Samoa Joe, Frankie Kazarian, Christopher Daniels, Sting, and James Storm. So if you did watch this match and you saw the Sweet Chin music, that was not for Shawn Michaels. That was for James Storm's last call finisher, which was also
even with did Storm tune up?
He did.
Okay,
Yeah.
I did not. So that part I did not know.
Yes. Now I don't know that. If I remember correctly, I don't think he did like the full-on Shawn Michaels bounce like he usually does. Storm did it, but did it a little bit less. I think it looked more like the James Storm finish.
When did you hear James Storm?
I mean, it's been all over.
See, everything and I'm not arguing at this point.
Yeah,
by no
yeah,
means.
yeah.
Just everything I saw was Shawn. I never saw James Storm. That's why I'm asking where you saw it at.
Yeah, they talked about it on Busted Open. All kinds of websites reported. All the names were reported who there were moves for. So James Storm was the intended person for the last call. And then obviously on Cena's side, we had The Miz with the skull crushing finale. We had
Rusev
with the the moment of the match.
I wanted it to end.
I'm telling you, I almost brought a tear to my eye.
No, it did. When I tell you, Chrome, it brought a tear to my eye. It sent chills down my spine.
It did. It almost brought a tear to my eye. It was beautiful. And then it was the follow-up after. John Cena does an homage to Bray Wyatt with the sister Abigail. And then after the fact, everybody in the crowd, the Fireflies come out.
Perfect.
And they kind of, I don't know, it looked like they dimmed the lighting on the crowd for that moment.
It's possible.
I think when they realized
what was happening,
on. They dimmed the lights down so you could fully get so they could get the full picture. I think it was one of those things where Triple H saw it and went, do this.
Turn the lights down. Yeah, because it was amazing that, I've seen it talked about a lot. John Cena behind the scenes had an amazing relationship with Bray Wyatt. A relationship that not many people know how close they were behind the scenes. And you could see after he realized, what he did, and then seeing the Fireflies, he looks up to the crowd or to the sky and he goes, almost gives a point to him.
That's amazing.
Beautiful moment. Unbelievable moment. And then obviously moving forward, then we got the Randy Orton, a whole barrage of Randy Orton.
He did all of Orton.
Yeah. He did the DDT and the RKO.
And the beauty of it was he fit the character. He did the whole voices in his head thing. He did the pounding. And then he had the look where he looks back and he gets the sinister look for the punt. And obviously we didn't see the actual punt, which we don't get that anymore. But beautiful moment there. We get a chant for a 619. Now,
that was great.
The one that has been talked about on two different sides is, I know the choke slam was Undertaker-ish, but it's speculated that was actually an homage to three different people: Undertaker, Kane, and if you look at the style that he did it when he did the drop down, Big Show.
I could see. I didn't even think about Show.
He got him up like this, and then he dropped to his knees. How Show would put him down. So I am very curious if that is true. I hope that one day John Cena clears all that up. And then, obviously, to get towards the end of the match, we get the what you thought he was going to flip him up for the attitude adjustment or the FU. He ends up turning AJ into a tombstone pile, and he did an Undertaker style tombstone pile driver, a slight jump up, drop on the knees, and then beautifully done. Don't finish on that. Pick him up and put him and finish him with your own move.
And you did forget the attempt at the pedigree, which I think is going.
And I did say the 619 too, right?
Yeah. Well, you alluded to a chant to a 619. So I think the pedigree will be in the next couple matches, and he won't hit it till the very end. He'll try to hit it. I don't think he hits it until the final match as a thank you for everything.
Maybe. I mean, I think if you're going to do it the way this match was orchestrated, it should have just been this, because going forward, I don't. You're not going to replicate the magic that was this. I don't need him to.
No, but John's
pay homage to everybody. You know what I mean?
But the last few matches, he has worked in one or two.
Sure.
Right. So that's what I'm saying. I could very well see on that final match at Saturday Night's Main Event in December, him actually hitting a pedigree. Maybe that might be the only homage he does that night. But I definitely, as almost like hey, thank you for letting me do this.
Yeah, I mean, listen, I think Cena has been doing this the whole. I mean, he himself did a move for Christopher Daniels that nobody caught a couple of weeks ago because Christopher Daniels trained John Cena. He was part of.
I did not know that.
Yeah, so he did the Fallen Angel or the Angel's Wings or whatever it was.
Well,
the move that AJ did, John did it a few weeks ago.
So is it called? I think it's called Angel Wings because it's the
Right,
Fallen
yeah,
Angel.
the
Fallen
Christopher
Angel.
Daniels.
Phone, yeah.
Yeah.
So John actually did it on Raw, or what was,
You do it to Sammy
I think it was the match with Sammy. John
on
did.
SmackDown. Yeah.
Yeah, SmackDown. So, but yes, all right. So I know it took a while, but we had to kind of talk it all out and get it out there for people who didn't see. We'll let you start this time, Annie. We'll work the other way around.
The best match I've seen in a long, long time. That thing had me captivated from start to finish. It was early, man. So like I wasn't expecting to pop really for anything. I was gonna enjoy it, but not like lose my mind over anything. Everything. I popped for everything. I think I popped more for the Bray Wyatt thing than I did for the AJ intro, which I love that. That was such a well done. I was really glad that I think part of me was hoping that he would get something like that from John after announcing his retirement the night before.
Mm-hmm.
I'm really glad that we did get it. But that Bray Wyatt thing was like there was a voice in my head that said, "Okay, end the match. We're done here. Go home. There ain't no topping this moment." Easily, and I think I said it to you guys in our chat. Easily, probably top 5 or top 3 of all time for me now. That's a rewatchable match for me.
I would say these last 4 appearances have a lot to live up to. If this is what they have to, go through.
No kidding.
Yeah. Like this. Like I almost would like this to be the last match. It's kind of like, how much more can you do? How can you top that?
Well, Dave LaGreca on Busted Open said exactly that, Eric. He said if this was the last match and you got this on Saturday night's main event, nobody would have complained about it.
No. Yeah, it's a lot to live up to on the especially that last one. And I can't say enough good things about it. I watched it in pieces, Crown Jewel. So I watched the first 2 matches early live, and then I watched the Cena match later on, and I had to stay off my phone because I didn't want to get spoiled like some people do. Poor guy over here. But it was just that's all I can say is wow. It was incredible.
Yeah, I mean, listen, for me, there are moments where you watch certain matches and the instant that match is over, you want to go back and watch it again. And then it's over, and then you want to go back and watch it again. And then the next day you wake up and you're like, I want to go back and watch it again. I have watched that match 5 times. I was, even including yesterday, knowing we were going to talk about it, knowing all the dedications that were in it, I said, it doesn't even get old to me. I need to go back and I need to watch it again. There are a handful of matches in my lifetime that I have been able to sit there and say, I'm going to go back and watch it again and again and again. I've probably watched Shawn Michaels Undertaker from WrestleMania 25 100 times. It's
a rewatchable match.
It's my favorite match of all time.
Really?
That is my hands down my favorite match of all time. Hell in a Cell, Undertaker and Mankind, I think falls into that as something that the match is what? How old now?
It'll be, I think, next year's 30 years.
20. Is it 30? Yeah.
Yeah, because it was 90. It was 9.
King of the Ring
96.
98. King of the Ring 98.
Was it 98?
All right, so we're 27 years. So it's 27 years old, and I watch it, and I still see certain moments in that, and I get goosebumps as if it's the first time I've watched it. I don't remember when it was live, but a match I've been able to watch my entire life over and over, Savage and Steamboat. It's just, it's an incredible match. And this falls into that fold for me.
I love Rock Hogan. And that's
Rock
the other
Hogan.
one.
Rock and Hogan is another one. I mean, obviously, we did a show about it. Hulk passed away this year. What do you think the first thing I went back and watched was?
Rock Hogan.
It wasn't Hogan Andre. It wasn't Hogan Warrior, which all of them, it wasn't Hogan Savage, Savage is my guy. You guys know that. And they've had classic Rock and Hogan was the match. So that's probably, honestly, my top 5. And if I was to rank those 5, I would go Undertaker, Shawn, Rock Hogan. I might make this my number 3.
It's a solid 3. You know, and you're on to something there when you talk about rewatchable matches. You know, I don't have the attention span to rewatch some matches because I know what happens, right? This is one that I can very easily say when it's gonna be one of those things where it's like, man, I want to watch some wrestling just randomly on like a Saturday afternoon. This is a match that I'm gonna go find and I'm gonna go put on. You know, and it was only a 27-minute match, but it felt like they were on for an hour, which is how good it was and how captivating it was and how they just drew you in and they held you there. And you want to go back and watch it over and over and over and over. You know, great list, by the way, too, for you, Crow.
I think an honorable mention, honestly, and this is also a credit to WWE. I think that Roman and Cody from last year might fall into 6 for me. And then to John Cena's credit, I think him and Cody from SummerSlam this year is very close to being on that list. The story told in that match, I mean, you only get maybe 3 or 4 matches in a decade that you really say I could go back and watch that match 100 times. And if I was to define a decade for somebody, someone who didn't watch wrestling 20 years from now in 2020s, it says, pick out 3 matches for me. As of right now, those 3 matches, I think, could be a definition of this decade.
Real quick, I want to give a shout out to the Aussie crowd. How amazing they were. And not just a crown jewel on Raw, like and on SmackDown. I mean, how many matches have we seen where the crowd's just dead?
Keep going.
I think they ate it. They ate it up, but they also played along, and they were smart. So I think you got to give the crowd credit for that magic as well, because that's a big part of it.
I love the analogy that's been thrown out there a ton. And real quick, Dynasty says Rumble 92 is that for I can watch that match a lot.
Yeah,
of all Rumbles, that's in my top 1 or 2. You know what my offbeat one is, real quick?
Which one? It's the one where Vince tears his quads?
No, that's a funny one. I don't know why, but I love the 99. I love the 99 Rumble where Vince won.
Really?
It's just so like Attitude Era filled with every type of wrestler that was
is that the one?
That's the one where Vince wins.
No. It's either that year or it's the year after.
Our old buddy
Austin's looking at his watch, waiting for someone to come down, and then
that's the one I like. That's 97.
Is that 97? Okay.
That's when Brett comes out and he does the hands on the head.
I see. I don't remember who comes out. I can picture the moment.
That's the one where Brett throws him out, and the refs don't see it, and he slides back into the ring and gets rid of Brett, and he wins.
It's his first of 3.
Yeah.
That one's that 92.
We could do a whole show, and it's been a while.
Well, Rumble's going to be coming up, so we're
but we just do a whole show on favorite matches in general.
That would be.
Oh gosh, yeah.
Oh,
but
man, we should do that. We should do.
We haven't done it in a while. But I think to go back to what Eric was talking about. And I think we did a show on this, but or at least I think I did. The overseas crowds are undefeated. They are they're because they don't get to see it every week like American crowds do, right? Yep. So they are always on par with everything going on, and there's some I love crowd moments. I love good crowd moments, and Perth delivered this weekend very, very much so. I almost expected them to, though, right? but they, especially with the Bray Wyatt thing, I think that by far makes them one of the best crowds in a long time. Other than the France crowd from Clash in Paris a few years ago, or Backlash, I think it was. But to AJ and John as well, it hit me watching that match. And Chrome, you're both a little bit older than I am. I watched both of these two guys. I watched their careers start. There's very few people that I can say I watched their career start. And now here we are in my lifetime, and I'm getting ready to watch them end. And they were long, meaningful, fulfilling careers. They're probably two of the biggest names that I can say, hey, I saw their career start, and I'm getting to see it end. It's like it's a Hogan. It's like it's a Rock, and it's surreal to think about that. Like this time of wrestling is getting ready to be over.
Yeah, it's like it wasn't that long ago where WrestleMania 28 was around, and that was an end of an era match, right? When you saw Undertaker versus, you know what I mean? And now
we're ready for 42.
Yeah, now we're the next generation, and it's the end of that era. So, like, it is kind of crazy how things fly. Real quick, since we mentioned it and we talked about the dedication during the match, I do want to acknowledge that this day 3 years ago was the Bray Wyatt promo that almost iconically has become a living eulogy for himself.
Was it really?
Wow, I didn't know it was 3 years ago.
3 years ago today, where he says, you were there when I was weak, when I was vulnerable, when I was down. So I just wanted to say thank you. You all saved my life.
That was on SmackDown, wasn't it?
Yeah.
So, I believe so, yeah.
It was SmackDown. So just wanted to make sure we acknowledge that. Obviously, we are...
That's another heavy moment.
Yeah. So, beautiful moment there. And I'm glad that he got his flowers from John Cena and AJ Styles in this match. So that, yeah. Also, a little unknown fact, 8 years ago today, thank you, Facebook, is when I agreed to join A2D Radio.
How about that?
My 8-year anniversary as an official A2D Radio member. So, staffer, so to speak. So anyway, yeah, it's my anniversary.
What do you want, a trophy?
Yeah. Give me my fucking trophy. Where's that belt I used to win all the time?
Aha. It's in a tote downstairs.
Yeah. John jumps in here, or I'm sorry, Dynasty jumps in here. He says, in no particular order. Rock Hogan, 92 Rumble, Punk and Cena. I'm assuming the one from Money in the Bank.
Chicago.
HBK Taker, their first Hell in a Cell. Another great one. And Joe Necro is it for me. No, I don't think I saw Jen. I know what who Necro is. The Butcher. I don't even know that match, to be honest with you. So, but hey, that's your list. It's beautiful for you, man. It's always good to hear. And anybody else out there wants to drop in their list, I would love to say it. No shit. Yeah. Shit, Dynasty. It's true.
He's old.
It's true.
Wait a minute.
My mind got
8 years?
Yeah.
2017.
You've always been off by a year every time you tell me how long you've been here, because you joined a year after me.
I feel like it was a lot longer. Okay.
Yeah.
Sure.
8 years. I got to document it.
But see, I think where I get confused is because I did that article for Mataraki for WrestleMania 33.
Oh, there you go.
And that kind of is what opened the door.
Sure.
But it would be a while before I actually started doing shows.
Yeah, I think you started about a year after me. But anyway, good stuff. Let's get this match, beautiful. And by the way, fuck Dave Meltzer and his 3.75 rating on that.
He gave it a 3.75?
Sure did. It wasn't in the Tokyo Dome.
Shit.
What a douchebag.
So and in the words of the great Dave LaGreca, or at least in this instance, the great Dave LaGreca. And I like Dave, by the way. I think Busted Open is a tremendous show. Dave LaGreca said one of his viewers sent them a comment, and he co-signs on it, and Baron Corbin double co-signed, and I triple co-signed on it. And his comment said, if you're a wrestling fan and you complained about this match or you didn't like this match, go fuck yourself.
Here.
If you criticize this
Touche.
match, there's something wrong with you.
I'll drink to that.
So, yeah, I mean, there's nothing. Honestly, Meltzer, we don't even need him to put a rating in on anything.
Meltzer should retire and go away.
But if you're going to rate it, the fact that
like I want to know what you had a problem with.
I honestly need to know what a problem is.
I want to see.
It should have been 22 minutes instead of 27.
I don't follow Meltzer like I used to because I've realized how much of a jackass he is. But I really want to go and ask him why on God's green earth you thought this was a 3.75.
So I really used to like Meltzer, and until I realized, and this is kind of the blessing. Well, this is kind of the blessing of AEW coming around, because I didn't really read a lot of his NJPW stuff to know like that everything basically is a 5.0 over there in the Tokyo Dome. Mm-hmm. But having heard after, especially when AEW came around, how his personal issues with WWE and not being welcome in the buildings and this and that kind of did affect, like clearly with him in denial that it affected his views on things.
I think it still does. Clearly.
It very
because
much
he's salty.
To look at this match, if you are unbiased to anything, if you're not salty, if you're not having an agenda, at the very least, you could look at this match and say maybe a 4.75. Listen, I saw it. There was one spot in the very beginning of the match that looked a little bit awkward where Cena kind of bent over early on something. Like, you know what I mean?
Yeah.
I got dogs barking.
I was like, what the hell just happened? You were mid-sentence. Somebody say
well,
something.
No, I was done. That was my sentence.
But all right, so you want to whine and complain about Cena mistiming something. I can't get behind that, right? No one's perfect.
No.
This was a love letter to those that got them to where they were. This was a love letter to wrestling fans. This was a love letter to the industry. And it wasn't just from John and AJ. I think it was the one time where all wrestling fans across the board were able to just sit down and go, that's good wrestling.
By the way, how can we forget to reference the Walls of Jericho, by the way?
Oh, yeah.
No. Don't say we. You decided to run through the whole list.
I said, did I get through everything? And you said, yeah. So you're supposed to be the backup, and your jackass didn't follow up on it either.
Yeah, well, I wasn't prepared. Bite me.
We're all in this boat together. No, and yeah, you're right. It is a love letter to everything. And, like, is that the criticism? Wasn't the perfect Walls of Jericho?
And I'll argue it wasn't a Walls of Jericho. It was a lion tamer.
Well, technically it was.
Boom.
I think that's what it was supposed to be. Because I think Cole just called the move the wrong way, right? Because he said, oh, it's not a Boston Crab. It's a Walls of Jericho. But
no, he said break the walls down. And then Barrett is the one that called it the Walls of Jericho.
Well, I don't think he was – when he said break the walls down, I don't think that was to call that move that. I think that was him making a Jericho reference and saying, oh, yeah, break the walls down.
Well, yeah, that's what I'm saying. He was referencing it without saying Jericho because Jericho's employed by AEW. Wade Barrett clearly showed us he did not give a damn.
Well, they eventually did say Y2J. I think Cole said it.
Oh, did he? Okay.
Yeah, he did reference Y2J after the comment about the Walls of Jericho.
I know earlier we talked about moves that we want to see that we may have not seen in this match. I'm surprised we didn't get an angle slam.
Really?
Didn't he? Wait.
Oh, I guess. Yeah, I guess.
Because they both have history with Kurt, and that was
Cena's
Cena's first.
Didn't Cena do an angle slam a few weeks ago?
Did he?
I'm 90% certain he hit somebody with an angle
I feel
slam.
like he might have already did the angle
Fine.
slam.
Fine.
Way to pay attention.
Which in terms of
Blame it on the DVR.
So that again too is kind of one of those reasons why I look at it and it's like I don't know that this was always the intention for what this match was going to be. I think they said, we're going to give you guys this match. Make it whatever you want it to be. Because then I don't think maybe Cena wouldn't have wasted the angle slam a couple of weeks ago. He would have used it in this match to pay homage to the first guy who really gave him an opportunity out there, right?
Well, let's see an ankle lock, or did he do that one? Did he do that already too? He might have.
And this is one of those things where when you look at this match, and we said it last week too, right? When we were previewing the show, we won. We absolutely. They went out there and they delivered great wrestling. It didn't matter if Cena won. It didn't matter if AJ won. They could have both been counted out for all I gave a damn, because the match was really, really good. And it was, there's no payoff after it. It was just a match because the fans asked for it. It was truly what it was. And so they gave them free reign to go out there, and it's very evident in what they did move-wise.
Yeah, and I think, at the end of the day, what we talked about over the last few weeks kind of came to fruition. And that was, this is a match that needed no build. These two would be able to get into the ring. And I mean, they told a story we didn't even see coming.
Mm-hmm.
And at the end of the day, a loss isn't going to hurt AJ Styles in this match. It didn't matter who. Honestly, if Cena would have lost this match, it would not have lost a bit of the luster that was on it. It was so incredible. You actually kind of hated to see either lose, but you didn't want to see a schmaz. We talked about, we don't want Brock getting involved. We don't want this person. And they gave us that. They just let this be a beautiful story in and of its own. And I'm very grateful that we got to see this match and have this match. And we're going to have it for generations, boys, because, again, this is falling into that. I can go back and watch this anytime, and it's never going to get old.
I'm wondering if this match will be featured on an Unreal.
I hope so.
Yeah.
I could screw your Unreal. I want a full
doc.
like feature length film about this damn match.
Well, I'm curious if they are going to do a full documentary a la the old 24s that they used to do.
I think Cena's
and about the entire Cena final run.
You guys would know this a little bit more than I would, but would it be really off base to say they've been prepping for a 30 for 30 for John's career?
I could see it.
Absolutely.
Particularly now with the partnership with ESPN, I could absolutely see that. Final grades.
Sorry. I said just the fact that he's mainstream. I think it would just be a home run. It would be a no-brainer to not consider it.
So as far as the rest of the card goes, obviously we referenced it earlier. Bronson Reed gets the win over Roman in a tremendous match. And then we had Stephanie Valkyrie over Tiffany, who I think this was Tiffany's best match I've seen with anyone.
Yep.
Mm-hmm.
I think this match delivered. I think Stephanie proved why she's one of the best in the world. The right person won this match. And then we saw a little bit of a surprise to me. We saw Io and Rhea go over the Kabuki Warriors, which was fine. I mean, I really didn't care who won this match either way.
I felt bad for them because they came on after John and AJ, and the crowd, they tried so hard, but they were so exhausted for this match.
Yeah, it was a tough spot to be in, but I think they did their best. They made the best of it. And then obviously the main event, we referenced it earlier. Seth Rollins defeats Cody Rhodes, first time ever. And I thought a really good, high quality match. He defeats Cody. He becomes the Crown Jewel champion in his first win, which obviously we saw how that catapulted the next day. Now, here we go. This one's for you, Andy. What's up, Don? 2 days in a row.
What's going on, Don?
Love hearing
Hey, Don.
Don.
Tell my guy Butters we miss him. No. Yeah, I'll tell him.
So final grades on the show. If there's any other moments you really want to highlight, I think we hit the big home runs with this, but if there's anything else you want to highlight or just give a final grade on this.
I'm gonna go. I'll jump in, Eric.
You do that.
I'm gonna go with a solid A here. I felt bad for the tag match. I myself was exhausted, so I wasn't fully invested in the women's tag.
Which was a good match, by the way.
It was a good match,
Yeah.
right? But I think it was just very hard to, after coming off of that, I think it was just really hard to still stay focused. So I'm going to go solid A. I can't really nitpick the show a whole lot. The right people won for the right stories, and we saw awesome wrestling across the board.
Yeah, I agree. I'm just going to say A- just because, I don't know, a little different. But A- just be A-. I think, we talked about things not, losses not affecting people. I think you can say that with Roman. Roman didn't need to win that match. It doesn't hurt him. It catapults Bronson. And the tag match was good. The women's tag, and they're furthering the story, continuing that on as we saw on Monday. So that continues. Yeah, A-.
Yeah, listen, I'm giving it an A. I don't care if anybody else did or not. I'm going to give the same grade. At the end of the day, here's the deal. There was not a bad match on this card. All of the results worked out really, really well. The one match that didn't go the way I thought it would go was kind of a toss-up anyway. And in terms of the creative that came out of it, the beauty of what came out of it, and then I'm even going to go back and I'm going to jump back to WrestlePalooza, right? We were critical of WrestlePalooza in some ways because of the fact that we felt like this is your big moment on ESPN. And I do feel like WWE was backed into a corner to jump into this and get it going a lot quicker than they thought. So they put a show out there. They did, I think, what they could, the best that they could in that moment. And they knew coming out of this with enough time to prepare, with enough creative ahead of time to be able to get it to where they wanted to get it, they were able to show the ESPN executives and audience what they could do. And I thought it was really, really a huge bounce back from WrestlePalooza. So good on them. Great show. And we're going to see what comes out of it. Our final topic of the evening. Oh, and here we go. Don asks.
Would you look at that?
Will they keep the name division?
Let Eric, you're new here, so let me explain some things to you about Don here. My friend likes to poke the bear with dumb shit, and that's all he's doing right now. He's just poking the bear with dumb shit.
My experience is different. What Don does is he comes in at the end of the show and asks about stuff you talked about 40 minutes
ago. No, that also happens too.
That's what Don does.
Yeah, Don jumps in and it's like, hey, I know I'm 45 minutes late, but can we go back to the beginning?
Listen, Don, I'm going to make it simple for you. I don't think any of us believe that is a good idea.
No. This guy does.
No,
This guy does.
I did not say it was a good idea.
Well, let's not create a narrative. He didn't say that. He asked if it's a realistic, and when we laughed at him.
Yeah, but now he's changing his story.
I don't think he believed in that.
Shut up! Let me have my fun. I don't get Butters on here anymore.
I know. I miss Butters too.
He whispers. Remember, he's a whisperer. He whispers in the ear.
He's a whisperer. Brock's a whisperer.
He's a beast whisperer.
He has that beast incarnate whisper.
He's the beast whisperer.
I quit.
Oh, God. Thank you, Don. You're amazing, buddy. We appreciate you jumping in always. Obviously, let's jump into our last topic here. And it was something we were fortunate enough to have him on here. A couple, like the day or two after it was announced that Team 3D would take on the Hardys for a final time at TNA Bound for Glory, which was a really good show, by the way. If anybody hasn't watched, Mike Santana, the new TNA World Champion, beats Trick Williams, Trick and A. So good on him. I'm very excited for Mike Santana. Well deserved. He's an amazing talent. But we really just wanted to key in on this, something that we were the beneficiaries of being able to be on, and were covered by sites like Fightful in our conversation with him. This being Devon's final match. And if you haven't seen it, you can go back into our archives and see our interview with Devon, where he talks about the announcement of this and his injury history and his ability to come out. And I don't know if either of you guys saw the match or if you just read it and saw highlights, but I thought this match was really great for what it was supposed to be. Right? This was a one final tables match between the Hardys and the Dudleys for the NXT and TNA tag team titles. They both came out. Spike Dudley made a cameo coming out with the Dudleys, which was great. And then the Dudleys they came out to their Team 3D music and Tron graphics, but they wore their WWE gear that they wore when they came back in 2015.
Yeah.
And Spike then came out and as a surprise after when Bubba went like this, and he's the one that kind of put the glasses on them. They come out. Devon goes to his son in the crowd, gives his son his glasses, almost a la Bret Hart with the shades. And the Hardys come out, huge pop. Hardy pop is like still a thing, man. And they have these amazing intros. They get in, the match starts, and right away they go right at it. It's a spot fest. You get a 3D puts Jeff Hardy through a table. So the winner of this, you have to put both team members through a table. So now they just have to put Matt through. So we'll just hit the highlights of this. They brawl. They hit their greatest hits types of moves. And then Jeff does the move that he did in the first tables, ladders, and chairs match, where he jumps off of the top of the ladder on the outside, putting Devon through, which in this, they set up two tables side by side, and he primarily lands on the first table to not absolutely destroy Devon. I think that was calculated. Obviously.
So he killed the man?
Well, yeah. I mean, health-wise, I don't know if Devon could take that hit anymore.
I don't either.
But it looked amazing, and regardless, he still landed partially on top of him, puts them both through a table, takes him out, and then they have the thing in the ring. It's Bubba Ray versus both. We get to the point where we almost get the the Rick and Shawn moment, where Bubba knows he's done, and he kind of just turns around, and they both have a chair, and they throw the chair away to give him what's been talked about as like a soldier's death, and they get rid of the chairs and they put him down without using weapons. Put him through the table. Match over. Yeah. Amazing moment at the end of the match. They do a face-to-face. They're standing there. The Dudleys unlace their boots in the ring, hand their boots to the Hardys. They all have their moment together, and then the Dudleys.
So I didn't watch the match. That was kind of on my list of things to do this week, was to watch the clips and everything. But I heard the moment at the end that you were just describing, where they throw the chairs down and the soldier death. I heard initially it came off as a little awkward, and it changed up the pacing a little bit.
It did. It was a little weird at first.
Okay.
Mm-hmm.
I think they waited. So I got what they were going for.
Mm-hmm.
But I felt like maybe they waited just slightly too long. Like Bubba got up real slow, and he kind of was like,
yeah, he was just standing there, just like
he was looking at him like this. I felt like they could have had him just kind of pop up, and I would have did it in like true Dudley form, flip them both off or something.
Yeah,
I'd be like something instead of doing like the I'm sorry, I love you. Do it now, something like that. Come on,
give me that table. Get the.
I'm ready for it, and then flip them off or something. Just say, I'm ready for it. Come on, do it, and then do it. But it was weird because he just kind of stood there and he was like, and it did look.
I get they were trying to be dramatic at the end and kind of symboling, the end. But I agree. It was kind of just like, it was kind of slow motion and just kind of just, could have went a little differently. But I mean, those guys are up there in age. Like you can't ask for much better than what they put out there. And I forgot Spike was called Brother Runt in TNA.
Oh yeah,
I didn't realize that until it came out. I was like, oh yeah, that's right, he was Brother Runt.
Well, I think this is one of those matches where these guys could have gone out and done anything, right? It was the people. It was a goodbye, a true goodbye for the Dudleys, which I don't think they got on their terms clearly because we did this. It was the Hardys still kind of showcasing that they can still go, but paying homage to the Dudleys. The only thing that would have made this better was having Edge and Christian, I think, in my opinion.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And obviously that wasn't going to happen. Interesting thing about Bound for Glory, too. We're talking about the Dudleys. I found it extremely interesting that Bubba does the whole LFG thing. And how many of them were on there? Trying to see.
How many panelists or how many contestants?
No, what was the? I might have to retract my statement on this one. Yeah, I digress on that. There was something with where I saw that he was involved in recently, and it was like a couple of the people that were on his team in LFG. And I'm right. No,
Here we go.
there we go. Oh, Jesus.
Chrome's getting old.
Getting old. Dark State makes an appearance on this show.
Oh, yeah.
And if you're an LFG fan, the irony of Cutler James making an appearance on the show and having been on Bubba's team in LFG and having basically been cut by him, and then he's the first one to appear on a major company's show with him. I just found that very ironic.
So I just recently, probably in the last month, got YouTube TV. Is this worth going back? LFG, is it worth going back and watching?
I enjoy LFG. Both seasons, to be
Okay.
honest with you.
Okay.
It's and the thing is, they are utilizing the talent that you see in there,
Mhm.
whether they're on, like they're contracted and on the show, or some of them you've seen in some of the backstage segments where they play an extra. So yes, I would say 100%. It's
Okay.
worth it.
Okay.
Yeah.
Yeah, I haven't watched it either. It was kind of one of those things that looked appealing, just never got into it.
Yeah, I mean, I have not finished this season. I have 4 episodes left of this season.
Are you
but
caught up on anything?
all the Gordon Ramsay shows I watch.
That's my guy. That's my guy.
That's right.
Goodness me.
They're
Goodness me.
it's tremendous. Martian, what's up, buddy? He jumps in. He says, "Division."
Where the hell have you been?
He pops in on our show and drops.
He's usually pretty on time.
You know,
We have a new name for that group. It's going to be the Whisperers.
the Whispers.
This is not going to get over.
Featuring Brock Lesnar.
This is just as bad as drafting Tamina at number 13.
Oh my God!
Who meaner than Tamina?
Who meaner than Tamina?
I gotta put Eric and Butters on a show together.
I miss having Butters in the worst way. I love the man to death. He's a sweet man. But my God, is there anybody that I train rolled through more on the show than Butters? He's a wild man. He's got an interesting Eric, he's got an interesting view on professional wrestling. We love him.
Eric, this is the same man that said a few years ago for the Royal Rumble that the ring would collapse right before number 30 would come out, so then everybody would just fall out.
And he thought it was a great idea.
He thought it was the best thing since sliced bread.
I mean,
Who would see that? Which he's not wrong. Who would see it coming?
yeah, number 30 be Brock with
Oh my God.
With the
it's taking a turn.
It has taken a turn. Anything else for the cause today, boys?
No, I'm so square. It's not I'm good.
Yeah, this was a great show.
Yeah, very good.
Like I said, lots to talk about. There's other things we could have talked about. I just could have. By the way, last thing, to give them their flowers, Bound for Glory was a really good show. And I will say this. If you want to see, I mean, Leon Slater is such an amazing, amazing talent. And I'm telling you,
Please tell me that match delivered.
that match was incredible.
The only thing that I'm hearing bad about it was people didn't like that there wasn't a clean finish.
Well, that's the point.
Well,
Yeah.
yeah.
But I'm telling you, even without a clean finish, the moves that Javon Evans and Leon Slater did, they are the future of professional wrestling. Imagine Jeff Hardy versus Jeff Hardy in his absolute prime. And I mean, it was, but to the next level. I'm telling you. Even with a non-finish, and you know I would
I
never
wanna
say
see it.
this, it is worth the watch without the finish. That's how incredible it was. But guys, great show today, and our comment section really active. Thank you
Yeah,
guys
love
so much. Love to see new faces in there. Do us a favor. Hopefully you guys enjoyed the show. Come back, watch us next week. Also, throw a like, give us a follow, give us a share on our video, wherever platform you're on, Facebook, YouTube, Twitter, X. Give us a follow on our social media platforms, A2D Radio and this specific podcast. Both have our own Instagram pages. We appreciate a little love, a little follow. And that's it. We come back at you next week with more content. And go back and check out our conversation yesterday, Talking Birds, Philadelphia Eagles with Meanie, if you would so duly like to. For myself, for Andy, for Eric, we really appreciate you guys. We appreciate you coming out. And to our sponsor, Dr. Paul Vidal at Specialized Physical Therapy. What do you say to everybody when you go out the door, Andy?
Until next time, tell somebody you love them. Peace, love, and joy. We out.
Go Birds.